This episode was made possible by my friend Devin and money. Greetings and welcome back to another Oreo-tastic episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host as always, Geycen Oliveira. With us today is the Java Chip Oreo. Now you might be saying to yourself, Jay, those aren't new Oreos. Why are you reviewing those? Well, if you go back and look on my channel, you will find that I have never reviewed these. I don't know how they got past me. When a new Oreo is announced, when a new Oreo is released, it's going to be in my possession either on the day of release or as close to it as possible. For some reason, I believe what happened was this. If you want to go back and watch this video, this could have been what caused it. I believe there was the marshmallow and the toffee crunch that came out, chocolate marshmallow and a toffee crunch, and I think this came out at the same time, but I could be wrong about that. I know for a little while they were releasing one or two flavors at a time, and you know, some of them were staying, some of them were going. This is one of the ones that stayed. I don't know if I'm going to love it. I don't know if I'm going to hate it, but we're going to find out today. When I think of Java, I think of coffee. When I think of coffee, I think of Dunkin' Donuts. When I think of Dunkin' Donuts, I think of my friend Jen. When I think of my friend Jen, I remember it was her that introduced me to coffee. When I first started drinking coffee at the age of 21, I started with French vanilla, extra cream, extra sugar. It was literally like candy. So she was the first person to introduce me to coffee and weed. Thanks, Jen. Actually, thank you for real, because let's face it. Anywho, let's bust into these. We'll give them a first smell and see what we think of the scent coming off of them. It looks like it's supposed to be like a coffee ice cream with chocolate chips in it. I'm assuming coffee flavored cream. Yeah, you know, it's funny. A few weeks ago when I did the chocolate Oreo reviews, which is also a flavor that's been out forever, I remember saying coffee in the video and thinking that how great would it be to just have just coffee cream in there, nothing else, just coffee cream and the cookie. I think that would be really good. Oreo, if you're listening, just make a Vodkast one. Call it the Vodkast Oreo. No, if you're gonna make a Vodkast Oreo, then you got to make a White Russian one because, well, I like White Russians. It's called the Vodkast. All right, let's take a little look at these. I'll give you guys a look at them as best I can without dropping them. Point that into the light. Walk into the light, Oreo. Walk into the light. Looks like a pretty relatively normal looking Oreo. You got some tan, almost peanut butter looking cream in the middle. Give it a little twist there. Okay, you can see, possibly, maybe not, you can see that there are like little chips that are broken up into this. That's pretty exciting. Well, I'm very excited to be able to try this, even though it's been out for such a long time. So down the hatch, here we go. So my first impression is this. Get rid of the chocolate chips in here. There's no need for them whatsoever. Stick with the coffee cream, maybe amp up the flavor a little bit. I want to try part of this cream without the cookie. It tastes really good with the cookie, I will admit that. But I'm getting a waxiness off of this. And I'm going to be completely honest, if you look at this cream, it's not quite like Swedish Fish. And it's also not their normal white cream. So let me see what happens when I just try a bite of this. Definitely works better with the cookie. I want more coffee. It's like, this is like a watered down coffee. Like, I want a strong coffee. Like, I want it to be strong with the chocolate, especially because the cocoa shell of an Oreo cookie has such a distinct flavor that it's hard to kind of like get a weak, waxy coffee flavor in there and make a difference. I'm going to try it in milk, see if it makes a difference. But so far right now, this is definitely not one of my favorite Oreos. I love the idea of it. One little kitten went to the market to buy itself a bone. They were all out of bones. So you know what it got? Ham sandwich. Here we go. Holy hell. Somehow, milk's favorite cookie, when it gets dipped into milk, magic can happen sometimes. And right there, that's a little bit of magic, because I swear to God, I'm tasting more of the coffee now for some reason. Maybe it's because it's broken down the cookie a little bit more. More of the coffee cream is coming through. And I'll be honest, like those little chips, the chocolate chips are just kind of blending in with this. I really don't think you need them. I think this should have just been like a coffee flavor. They should have just done a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, because I really like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, or I used to. I lived here for about maybe 18, 15 years. and there was no Dunkin' Donuts. I ran on Dunkin' at the time. So the nearest one was like an hour and a half from us, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. So we used to go there at special occasions and get donuts and coffee. Now they added one. Well, first they added one in Liberty University, which was a pain in the ass to get in and out of. No drive-through. You had to go into the building and buy your shit and get out. They finally added one, and it's the worst road. It feels like being home whenever I go to that Dunkin' Donuts, because it's like the roads are just like Massachusetts there. But for some reason, the donuts now are coming in. They're not making their donuts fresh. I don't know if they've done that in a long time, but I remember in Massachusetts, a Boston cream or a jelly donut really was a fantastic standout donut. And now I go there and I get those same donuts, if you can get them, because I only get them once a day, so it's so hard to get them. So Dunkin' Donuts has really been on the decline, in my opinion, quality-wise, over the last 10 years. This is a good cookie and milk. Without the milk, I can't say I love it as much, though. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 6. It's not one of my favorite Oreos of all time. I'm glad that we've added it to the list, and I really want to thank Devin for pointing this out to me. I don't know how the hell. He actually pointed it out a year ago. It popped up in my memories on Facebook, and I had to go back and look because I was going to share the link. Whenever anybody mentions Oreo flavors on the internet, I feel like I am the harbinger of videos, so I will provide them with a review of that Oreo if anybody mentions, hey, did you ever have this flavor, or remember when they did this? I'm like, oh, yes, I do, as a matter of fact, and I throw it out there. But I could not find this anywhere on the channel. If it is on there, you will get a reward. Just let me know in the comments below. Share the link if it actually exists, and I'll send you something. I'll reach out. We'll figure out a deal of some sort. Anywho, hope you guys have loved this review and demo of the Java Chip Oreos. It's an okay cookie. I wouldn't turn it down or anything like that if somebody offered me one. However, I wouldn't go out of my way to get these again. So, yeah, 6. And if you guys are loving the content that I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hitting that little bell icon, because it'll let you know every time I put out a new video. Don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit more Oreo-tastic together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain as one, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to move this before I spill it. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love, and never let your inner child die. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, but they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one has told you today that they love you, the Vodkast loves you very much just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road to 50. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.